Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. So, a lot happening in the last 24 hours. I think there were some downpours causing some Friday night lights to be a little postponed.
Sarah, it was. My husband was playing disc golf at one point. He said he got like baby hail.
Oh yeah, even some very small hail occurred with the isolated storms that worked through San Antonio yesterday. I want to show you a look at the rainfall, the 24-hour radar estimated rainfall, and you can really see where the rain was and where there was just no rain at all. So let's take a look closer to on the northwest side near Helotes. About an inch of rain fell out near Helotes. Again, notice how isolated this is. Perhaps only about a 5 to 10 mile difference from the Helotes area out to I-10. So to go from an inch of rain to nothing, that is very isolated. And then as we take a look on the northeast side, Sarah, I bet this is where your husband was playing disc golf. This is where we saw one isolated storm work its way all the way from Bulverde down toward China Grove. Anywhere you see these greens here, that's where about an inch or more of rain fell. We can get down to a neighborhood view here near Clemens High School, about an inch of rain, near Windcrest, almost an inch and a half as well, right along that 35 corridor from 410 all the way up towards Selma Schertz area. So again, a good amount of San Antonio saw at least some rain yesterday, but it was isolated. And a lot like the last few afternoons, in the afternoon today, we are going to have about a 20% coverage for isolated storms. So from about 3 p.m. till about 8 p.m. That's when we have that 20% chance for you to see rain in your backyard. Again, these are very isolated and random, so it's hard to pinpoint an exact area, but we can get the time frame down for you pretty much from about 3 p.m. till about 8 p.m. And of course, the KSAT Weather Authority app has a radar on it for you if you have any afternoon plans this afternoon outside. 75 degrees outside right now. It is very humid out there. It's 74 in Del Rio. Good morning. In Del Rio, it's 71 in Uvalde, 74 in Pleasanton, 73 in Gonzales, 72 in New Braunfels, 73 in Kerrville. Here's a look at that futurecast. Again, most of the day today is going to be pretty quiet. We don't anticipate any kind of rain around San Antonio until about 3 p.m. this afternoon. And again, it'll only be isolated. So most folks will miss out on the rain today, but as you can see in this high-res futurecast, there will be some that see an isolated downpour this afternoon. Coverage is about 20%, and with a loss of daytime heating after sunset around 7:45, we'll see our rain chances go down with it. It is going to be a warm day. Our average high temperature this time of year is 91. We expect high temperatures in the low to mid 90s. So in New Braunfels, it'll be 95. Floresville, you'll be at 94. 94 in Devine, 94 in Hondo. Out in Gonzales, it'll be 95 degrees, 94 in San Antonio. Here's a look at today's forecast just to recap everything I said. Right around 10, mostly sunny, 80 degrees, 86 around the lunch hour. And in the afternoon, 94 for the high temperature and that 20% chance for an isolated downpour. If you're planning on being out by the pool this afternoon, just be aware that there could be some of those downpours this afternoon, and sunsets at 7:45 rather. Temperatures will be in the 80s after sunset, light and variable winds. I do have to mention today is an Ozone Action Day. So if you know that you are particularly sensitive to higher concentrations of ozone in the atmosphere could be unhealthy for those who are sensitive to it. And really the time frame we're looking at is in the afternoon. It's not going to be occurring all day long, so keep that in mind. On the radar and satellite, we've got the remnants of K that's potentially bringing some flooding rains to Southern California. Pretty rare event there. Meanwhile, there's that buzzword, cold front, but it's not really going to be bringing us all that much cooler weather. In fact, temperatures though behind it are pretty stoutly colder. It's in the 40s across the Rockies. But the big difference you'll notice is the dry conditions moving in behind this front. Again, it is not going to get necessarily colder outside this week, but we are going to see dew points in the 50s, which is a nice and welcome change. So in the afternoon, it'll be less humid and breezy tomorrow after that front moves through. In the morning, it'll be a pretty breezy day with gusts up to about 20 miles per hour. Looking ahead to the week, it's going to be warm temperatures in the mid 90s. Not a ton of rain out there. Sarah and Max.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. This morning, as the world remembers the life and legacy of Queen Elizabeth, there's one thing particularly that stands out about her reign.
For over 70 years, the Queen was accompanied by a unique breed of dogs who went everywhere she did. ABC's David Muir has a story.
It was another love story for the ages. Queen Elizabeth and her precious corgis. Her father was fascinated with the unique breed, bringing corgis into the royal family in 1933. And when Elizabeth was gifted her own, Susan, for her 18th birthday, there was no separating them. The dog even accompanying the princess and Prince Philip on their honeymoon.
And that's Emma, Lynette and Monty.
She would own more than 30 corgis over the course of her reign, most of them descended from her first dog, Susan. Even creating a new breed, a dachshund and a corgi, a dorgie. And they were rarely far from her side.
She was a very busy working woman for all of her 70 years on the throne, and they provided a release from that pressure.
Princess Diana once saying, "The dogs preceded Her Majesty like a moving carpet." The Queen said she loved corgis for their energy and untamed spirit.
And where did you come?
The Queen stopped breeding dogs later in life.
I know what you want.
It was her worry as she was getting older. She did not want to leave any young pup behind. It's believed she is survived by 4 of those loyal dogs who were with her until the end.
That's David Muir reporting. Time now, 6:16, 73 degrees out.
Well, still to come, we have a first look at Disney's live-action version of The Little Mermaid. Oh my gosh, all of my 3-year-old dreams coming true when it splashes into theaters in just minutes.
And speaking in just minutes, David Elder has some 24-karat magic up his sleeve for today's Texas Eats. Take a look at it. So do you think it's good?
No.
Okay. What he was able to find out on the Riverwalk coming up. We need you out there with him.
I'm too honest.
Take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 4, 3, 4, Fireball 7. Daily 4, 6, 9, 8, 4, Fireball 6.
Looks like it could be like paper in your teeth or something. All right, catch 5, 11, 28, 29, 33, 35. Mega Millions. Oh, I need to check my ticket. 16, 21, 54, 55, 69, Mega Ball 22, Mega Play 2.
If you win, you could buy a golden burger.
I wouldn't.
Okay, we'll be right back.
This one in the front, the Gold Burger.
That's it right there.
Over the top. Now, on the menu, $150.
Yes, sir.
And this, you get a burger wrapped in gold.
Everything gold on that bad boy. 24 karat, that's how we're rolling.
What comes inside of it? How does it get built?
It's a cheeseburger, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and we just drape that bad boy all in gold.
That's a good looking burger.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
There we go. Cheers to you.
There you go. Boomerang.
The Gold Burger out here, that's the bite.
That's the way to do it.
I got something on my face.
Yeah.
I'm
good.
covered in gold, baby.
Smells good.
Wait, he's not even eating the gold one.
I just, do you think it's good? Because for me, I'd like the burger a little more rare than that, but I'm a little picky with burgers.
I just don't want gold. It's gonna feel like I have foil on my teeth or something. I don't know.
Yeah, does the gold taste good? I know it's edible gold, so like there's that. But do you think it actually tastes good?
No, there's no way.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta get you along with David Elder.
No, that would not be good.
Time now.
Don't need me go to the restaurant.
6:20, you'd be uninvited. 6:21, 75 degrees out.
All right, coming up, tributes continue to pour in for the late Queen Elizabeth from celebrities across the globe, including some of the biggest names in music, what they're saying next in your morning spotlight. The hype is building in Hollywood for The Little Mermaid live-action movie. The first look trailer shows, is it Halle Bailey portraying Ariel? Bailey portraying Ariel, the mermaid who gives up her voice to trade her fins for legs. It will feature 4 brand new songs. What? Okay, that was a lot to take in there. As well as favorites like Part of Your World, The Little Mermaid splashes into theaters May 26th.
Meanwhile, 2 of England's most famous celebrities paying tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth. while they're both on tour. So Elton John and Harry Styles making a point to recognize the Queen and her legacy during their respective concerts in Toronto and New York City this week. Sir Elton John knew the Queen personally for decades, was even knighted by Queen Elizabeth in 1998.
Yeah, don't forget that, sir.
Oh yes, Sir Elton John. Time now, 6:26, 75 degrees out.
Still ahead at 6:30. If you're looking for the best babysitter for your child, there's an app for that. Of course there is. What you can look for, make sure your little one is in good hands when you're not around.
Good morning and welcome back. Taking a live look out at the Alamo City. Some of you got rain yesterday. Sarah Costa?
I got some rain.
Got some rain. All right, we're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments, see if there's any more rain coming our way. But for now, just about 6:30 this morning. It is Saturday. It is September 10th. You also said that your husband got some
baby hail.
Baby hail.
He called me and he was like, I was looking for a disc, and he's playing disc golf. And he's like, oh my gosh, I was in the last hole, and then hail was in my eyes, and I couldn't even see in front of me. And I was like, just please don't fall and trip. That would have been really bad. And let's forget the disc. Let's actually get to safety here.
You should have told your husband, hey, when thunder roars, go indoors, right? But yeah, okay, so today there's going to be another opportunity for just some isolated rain in the afternoon, but generally most people will miss out on the rain. Today, it'll be warmer than average with high temperature in the mid-90s. And as far as today's rain chance goes, again, an isolated downpour like the last few mornings is possible. Last few afternoons rather, is possible between about 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. So that's the time frame for only isolated rain. We're talking 20% coverage. And then Sunday, we will get a cool front moving through, and I would put cool in the quotation marks because it's not going to be that crisp, cool fall feeling, but it is going to make things less humid in the first part of the week ahead. Outside right now, we are seeing some visibility reduced out toward Uvalde, visibility down to about 5 miles because of some patchy fog. It's 74 in Pleasanton. Good morning in New Braunfels. It's 72 degrees, 76 in Hondo, 72 in Kerrville. So today looks like this, 80 degrees at 10. 86 at noon. We're going to have mostly sunny skies for the first part of the day here. And then in the afternoon, a 20% chance for an isolated downpour. High temperature in the mid-90s. More on that cool front and what it'll affect our weather coming up in just a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, San Antonio police left with a lot of questions after an overnight shooting that ended with 2 men in the hospital.
So all of this happening on Aquarius Street, that's near South Presa and East South Cross, the southeast side of town. Camelia Juarez joins us live. So Camelia, what have you been able to learn from officers on the scene?
Max, Sarah, right now it's unclear who fired the shots and what led up to the shooting. It all happened just after 2:30 this morning. Now, police tell us one man was found in front of the apartment complex and the other was found in his truck on Aquarius Street. They were both rushed to the hospital. One of the men was in critical condition and the other is expected to be okay. Now, the search for answers continues as the investigation is left with a lot of answers. Like we said, who fired those shots, what happened before the shooting, and this is a story we'll continue to update you throughout the morning. You can find updates online or on air. Live on the southeast side, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Now to Bandera County, and some cases of missing people. Also, bodies have been found, and this entire situation obviously leaving people in the community very shaken up.
The reports of the missing people started back on April 30th, and people in the community are disturbed by the recent events.
Folks are definitely on edge. I know a lot of the other moms with teenage daughters, they don't want to do anything by themselves. They're scared.
The sheriff there says the cases are not connected. You can read more about this story and those missing people on KSAT.com. Just look for this story on the homepage.
Well, this upcoming weekend is expected to highlight an ongoing struggle between local businesses and their neighbors. The issue? Loud music.
A new proposal could help neighbors sleep easier, but it could have a bigger impact on business owners. So businesses would need a permit to have outdoor amplified sound, according to the city. It could require businesses with amplified sound to get an agreement from neighbors that include hours of operation and a sound impact plan. How loud they can play their sound would depend on how far away their closest neighbor is.
A lot of details about hours of operation for amplified sound and or different decibel levels. So we want to make sure the task force is comfortable with what's being proposed, but if not, what would they recommend being changed?
So the date for the next city noise task force meeting hasn't been set yet, but it should be before the end of this month.
Developing now, more scrutiny in Uvalde coming to light after the response to the school shooting back in May. It took officers more than an hour to effectively confront the gunman. On Thursday, Texas Department of Public Safety Director Colonel Stephen McCraw, he vowed to fire any member of law enforcement who did not do their job that day. And this came after an internal memo, an internal meeting just last month where McCraw was reported to say no one would be losing their jobs. CNN caught up with McCraw and confronted him about it. Take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct. That's correct.
And you said no one is losing their jobs.
No, I didn't say that.
You're denying that you said that.
I'm denying that I said that.
You're denying that you said that no one is losing their jobs.
Victor Escalon is not losing his job.
Just Victor Escalon.
Yeah.
McCraw said DPS Regional Director Victor Escalon will not be fired, but he says he was misquoted on the possibility of other firings. 5 DPS officers are now being investigated for their response in Uvalde. 2 have been suspended with pay.
Now to an update on those new COVID-19 booster shots. Metro Health scheduled new pop-up clinics, and they're giving away HEB gift cards with the vaccine while supplies last. That offer is only at Metro Health pop-up clinics. The next clinic is on Thursday at Lincoln Park from 7:30 in the morning to 11 a.m. University Health plans to offer the new boosters on Tuesday. In both of those cases, no appointments are needed. Large retail pharmacies like HEB, Walgreens offer appointments online.
This morning, King Charles III, officially the new monarch of Britain.
The new king vowed in his first speech Friday to carry on Queen Elizabeth II's lifelong service in his own way as Britain enters an uncertain new age under a new leader. ABC's Ines de la Catera has more.
This morning, Britain's new king making a new declaration about the Queen's death.
I know how deeply you, the entire nation, and I think I may say the whole world, sympathize with me in the irreparable loss we've all suffered.
This just moments after the Accession Council, which includes the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Prime Minister, Queen Camilla, and Prince William, signed the official proclamation. As Britain bids goodbye to its longest-serving monarch, and as the tributes continue to grow, a grieving nation is also ushering in a new era. In his first address to the nation as king, Charles III paying tribute to his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, thanking her for her 70 years of service and for her devotion to her family.
To my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this: thank you.
Charles was with his mother in her final hours in Scotland, Britain's longest-serving heir, arriving on Friday to cheers and applause outside of Buckingham Palace.
Majesty.
A new monarch meeting the new Prime Minister, the two seen together in this rare video for the first time since the Queen's death.
It's a moment I've been dreading, as I know a lot of people have, but try and keep everything going.
The king also naming Prince William and Duchess Kate the new Prince and Princess of Wales, a title which hasn't been used since Princess Diana. And after years of tension with his youngest son, these warm words from the new head of state.
I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
From Buckingham Palace to Balmoral and all around the world, millions mourning the Queen while looking ahead to the future.
And on this proclamation day, the king also being proclaimed from the balcony at St. James Palace. As for the Queen's funeral, that will take place in 9 days at Westminster Abbey, the first time that's happened since 1760. Ines de la Catera, ABC News, London.
Time now is 6:38, 75 degrees out.
Well, still ahead on GMSA, it's not something most people want to talk about, but mental health is taking center stage today. To promote ways to prevent suicides, we'll explain in just a few minutes.
And up next, if you're looking for the best babysitter for your kids, there is an app for that. What you can look out for to make sure your little one is in good hands when you're not around.
75 degrees at 6:38 this morning. I know some people in our surrounding areas got some good rain last night. Will we see that again today? I don't know. Sarah Spivey will let us know when we come back.
morning and welcome back. With the rising costs of just about everything, you can expect more to pay for childcare as well.
So 20 years ago, child care workers made single digits. Now teenagers are raking it in. According to Wall Street Journal, babysitters are making double the minimum wage.
Good for them.
Right.
That's all I
missed out.
That. So parents say finding a babysitter the old-fashioned way, whether that's through friends, families, through your church, well, that way is now almost impossible. The good news, well, finding a babysitter is now just an app away.
From dinner time to bedtime, it takes a special someone to manage kids all the time.
Energetic, they smile a lot, and they're positive.
But what makes a really good babysitter?
How the
babysitter reacts.
Like if they're just really present and they're not on their phone.
Parents will pay a hefty price for a good sitter, in fact, up to $30 an hour. Parents are turning to tech to help find the right fit for their young families. The app Bambino connects families and sitters through their own Facebook networks, so whoever you hire, someone you know knows them. On Urban Sitter, you can interview, book, and pay for a sitter all in one place. All sitters get a background check and are reviewed by the Urban Sitter team. Care.com is designed for quick searches and messaging between parents and potential sitters. Helper lets you request a child care provider with as little as 3 hours notice. Helper professionals are required to pass an in-person screening, professional reference check, and background check. But before deciding which way to go, research each site. The time spent will pay off when you know your little one is in good hands.
I remember I was 11 years old and babysitting like 3 kids, one of them an infant in the neighborhood. I don't think that happens anymore, Sarah.
No, I don't think it does either. And I definitely was 12 babysitting a 8-year-old back in the day. Made like $5 for the whole day.
Was not making $30 an hour.
No way. Hey, take a look at this really cool picture sent in through our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app.
Oh, wow.
This is somebody flying into San Antonio International. You can see that isolated downpour there off in the distance. This is the definition of isolated rain. Now, I think
from yesterday?
Yeah, it is from yesterday. Absolutely. Just one isolated shower there, and we had another one closer to the later evening hours that worked their way through the east side of town. So Windcrest area toward Schertz and Cibolo as well. But this kind of isolated rain is what's going to be possible again today. Take a look outside right now. You can see those clouds out there. It's 75 degrees. It is very muggy outside. Dew points are right there with the temperatures. Here's today's setup across the nation. We're going to talk about a few things. First of all, parts of Southern California and even into Las Vegas and parts of Arizona are under a flood watch from post-tropical storm K. It is losing its organization, but it's still bringing a ton of rain for areas in Southern California. Pretty rare event there for them out there. Meanwhile, here's a cold front. The cold front is going to move through tomorrow, but before you think it's going to get cold, it really is just going to lower our humidity in the afternoons, not really dropping our temperatures too much. In fact, today, the thing that's going to impact us most is this low pressure system, this trough of low pressure right over Louisiana. Now, it's too far to the east to produce widespread rain around San Antonio. But on the west side of this, we're going to get little pieces of energy. And so that's why this afternoon from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., there's about a 20% chance for an isolated downpour. A lot like the last couple of afternoons when we've seen some very isolated activity. Let me take you through the futurecast. Most of today is going to be quiet. We're going to be warm. We're going to be humid. It's after 3 p.m. that we introduce that 20% chance for an isolated downpour. Now, they're going to be random in nature wherever they pop up, so don't expect a definitive answer of where this isolated rain will be, but we can give you a definitive timeline. Again, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. With a loss of daytime heating after sunset, we'll see our rain chances go down with it. So in general, today is going to be a hot day. It'll be 95 in Del Rio, 93 in Uvalde, 94 in Pleasanton, 93 in Canyon Lake, 92 in Kerrville. Around the San Antonio metro metro area, 94 in Seguin and Floresville, 94 in Castroville, 93 in Uvalde, 95 in Gonzales, 90 in Bernie, and 90 in Helotes. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Steadily warming up. We'll also see mostly sunny skies by about 10 o'clock this morning. It'll be in the 80s, and then it'll be in the 80s for most of the midday hours through lunch, 86 degrees around lunch. And then again, it's after 3 p.m. that we introduce that 20% chance for an isolated downpour. So if you have afternoon plans outdoors between about 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy. It has a radar on it. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery will be here tracking the radar this afternoon too. Today is an Ozone Action Day. What does that mean? It means that in the afternoon, if you are particularly sensitive to ozone in the air, if you have respiratory issues, know that the air could be unhealthy for you this afternoon. The rest of folks should be just fine outside, just a little elevated ozone in the atmosphere today. Then that front is going to move through tomorrow. Remember how I said it's not going to cool us down? It is going to drop our humidity though. Dew points will fall into the low 50s tomorrow afternoon, and it'll get a bit breezy, gusts up to 20 miles per hour from the north. Take a look at that forecast though. It's still going to be a hot day tomorrow. Don't think that front's going to cool us down all that much. In fact, we're going to be in the mid to upper 90s for most of this upcoming week. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, time now 6:48, 75 degrees out.
Well, up next, a new mental health care crisis hotline is already helping hundreds of thousands of people. What the numbers are showing, that's coming up.
Before we head to break, let's take a live look out at the roadways. Got about a few cars out there. This is 35 and AT&T Parkway. All right, if you are out and about, if you have big plans today, make sure to drive safe, be smart. We'll be right back after the lotto.
All right, those lotto numbers. Oh, I need to check my ticket. Pick 3, 4, 3, 4, Fireball 7. Daily 4, 6, 9, 8, 4, Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 11, 28, 29, 33, 35. I think Sarah Costa is off to check the lotto ticket. If she comes back, you'll know. And here we go. Mega Millions, 16, 21, 54, 55, 69. Big number 22, Megaplier 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, which is the leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds.
And 800,000 people die from suicide each year worldwide. The International Association for Suicide Prevention says people more vulnerable to suicide have mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression. They often feel like they are trapped and alone with no other options.
Meanwhile, the new mental health care crisis hotline is already helping hundreds of thousands of people. The hotline itself isn't new, but it recently did get a new number. All people have to do now is to reach the hotline, dial 988. The Department of Health and Human Services says already more than 360,000 people called or texted in August. That's up by more than 150,000 from just a year ago. Time now just about 6:53, 75 degrees out.
Here's what's coming up on Good Morning America.
And coming up on GMA, we're paying our respects this morning to the late Queen Elizabeth II. Our Amy Robach will be joining us live from Edinburgh in Scotland as we and the world witness the historic changes of this moment in the legacy of the British monarchy, starting with the proclamation of King Charles III at St. James Palace just 2 days following the death of his mother. His pledge to serve his country as Britain observes a 10-day mourning period and prepares for the Queen's funeral. What to expect coming up. Plus, more on Queen Elizabeth's legacy as we look back on her extraordinary life, her significant impact on the monarchy and America from the Commonwealth to the White House, and more on the Queen's cultural impact on society and how the Emmy-winning series The Crown is honoring her before their 5th season, what the series creator had to say as so many mourn and celebrate her life. That's all ahead here on GMA.
Questions remain after police found 2 men with gunshot wounds at an apartment complex on Aquarius Street. That's on the city's southeast side. Just after 2:30 this morning, police found 1 man outside of the apartment complex and the other man in a truck. They were both rushed to the hospital. One is expected to be okay while the other is in critical condition. Police continue to investigate what led up to the shooting and who fired those shots. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, there's been a lot of talk recently about the economy, interest rates, and jobs, but what impact are we seeing here in our community? Well, Workforce Solutions Alamo CEO Adrian Lopez, he is set to join us live on Leading SA tomorrow at 8 a.m. September is actually Workforce Development Month, and Mr. Lopez is going to help explain our local economic environment and important upcoming job fairs and programs. If you have any questions you would like to ask, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com.
And KSAT community is getting ready for what has become a yearly tradition here. Registration is open for the 9th annual Head for the Cure. The 5K run and walk raises awareness and funds to fight brain cancer.
KSAT's former news director Jim Boyle diagnosed with the cancer. He passed away, but his legacy lives on. His daughter helped kick off this event outside our KSAT studios back in 2014. Since then, it has grown with more and more families running for survivors and in remembrance of their loved ones. You see a lot of our own staff and our families running in the event each and every year.
And this year, it all kicks off on September 24th. You can register right now on KSAT.com. Use this promo code KSAT to get $5 off that registration.
Just like the last few afternoons between about 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., there is a chance for an isolated downpour around San Antonio. As we look at the day today, it'll be 80 degrees at 10, 86 at noon, 94 for the high temperature. And again, it's in the afternoon that we have that 20% chance for an isolated downpour. At light and variable winds today, sun's going to set at 7:45. Now, I do have to mention that today we do have an Ozone Action Day. In the afternoon, there will be a higher concentration of ozone out there than usual. The air will be unhealthy for those who are sensitive to ozone. So you know who you are. Just take some extra precautions this afternoon. The rest of us should be okay out there with the air quality. And looking ahead to tomorrow, a stray morning shower is possible as that weak cool front moves through. It'll bring less afternoon humidity and breezy conditions during the day tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the mid-90s for most of the week ahead. Very little chance for rain. Again, no soaking rainfall. Max and Sarah, hey, according to our forecast over the next few days.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for watching. We're going to take an hour-long break, but don't worry. We're going to come back here at 8 a.m. We have a lot to talk about, overnight breaking news, and
a preview of Texas Eats, those golden burgers.
Golden burgers. We're going to get Sarah's inside.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning and happy Saturday. It is 8 o'clock. It is September 10th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning. Happy to have you back here, Max. Max went on vacation.
It is great to be back. And we're going to get to weather in just a moment. But first, we're going to be starting off with a little fun at the zoo.
Camelia?
Hey, Max and Sarah, right now the race just kicked off here at the San Antonio Zoo, and we're here with spokesperson Kyle Perez to tell us more about why we're running today. So first, just tell us what's happening.
Sure. So today is a really exciting day here at San Antonio Zoo. We are doing our Kids Zoo Run presented by HEB, which is so exciting because it promotes health and wellness, but also with the vision of securing a future for wildlife while we're here at San Antonio Zoo.
That's awesome. So tell us about who's running, how far are they running? Give us those details.
Absolutely. So our 1 to 5 year olds are running a quarter mile, which is going to be so great to see them do that. And of course, over 5 to 11, they're doing half a mile running. So it does promote that health and wellness aspect, which we are so excited to help share with these children here, but also adults alike. But also doing it with animals around you is just a fun time to be here.
That does sound so fun to see them early in the morning before the day even gets started. That's a great way to start. So tell us about what's next for the zoo. What else can people who are visiting looking forward to?
Absolutely. So September is our Frontline Heroes Appreciation Month. We absolutely adore our frontline workers here and respect them so deeply. So our nurses, our doctors, our firemen, our police officers, and our EMT get free admission in the month of September, which is really great, but also it gives 2 free weeks of Zoo Boo, which starts next Saturday. So it's a great time to be here at San Antonio Zoo.
Well, hopefully we'll have to go out to that Zoo Boo, and hopefully our frontline workers can head out here. We'll bring you more on this race coming up later in the show. Back to you, Max and Sarah.
All right, Camelia and Kyle, thank you so much. And it was beautiful out there.
but humid, right, Sarah?
Oh my god, I got
Okay, girls have to worry about
inside
those. They
story.
do. Look,
every morning we try to take a picture, and I was like, "Oh, the sunrise is so beautiful. Let's go to the roof to take the picture."
Absolutely not.
Sarah Costa Media was like, "But what about my hair?"
Okay, not all of us can have the best hair on TV, aka Max Massey, with all that hairspray in the world.
It's an
All
honor.
right, call him out, Sarah. Call him out. Okay, yeah, it is humid outside. Definitely humid out there. Let's take a look outside with live cam. We do have mostly cloudy skies, 77 degrees, dew points in the low 70s. That's what makes it feel really humid out. A lot of moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere right now. And today, 94 degrees. It's going to be hot. A lot like the last couple of afternoons, there's going to be an isolated downpour from about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. out there. And tomorrow, a stray morning shower is possible. But tomorrow, a cool front is going to move through, and that's going to help to knock down the humidity. But what will it do to the temperatures? I'll have a look at that coming up in just a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. Right now, an investigation is underway after one man was found shot in a parking lot and another found in a truck overnight on the city's southeast side. This happened around 2:30 in the morning on Aquarius near South Presa and East South Cross. We're told officers arrived and found the men with gunshot wounds. They were both taken to the hospital. At this point, it's unclear who the suspect is in this case. We have new information about the shooting at the Uvalde Memorial Park. Yesterday, the Uvalde Police Department released mugshots of 2 out of the 4 suspects, 22-year-old Carlin Valdez and 17-year-old Donovan Hill. A third suspect, who is 16 years old, is being held at a facility in Del Rio, and the fourth suspect, identified as 18-year-old Brandon Alba. All 4 are accused in a gang-related shooting. 2 victims are still recovering in hospitals in San Antonio. And 4 people missing, 3 bodies found. This all happening in Bandera County. The series of people who have not been seen started April 30th.
So the Bandera County Sheriff says these cases are not related, but obviously families in the community are worried. According to the sheriff, Daniel Butts, investigators they think that one of the bodies was a suicide. That one found in July, another body found in August. We now know that is 63-year-old Norma Espinosa. She had not been seen since August 12th. Bandera County officials believe they found her remains on September 6th, still waiting for a positive ID and still investigating, trying to figure out a cause of death.
I lock my doors more than I used to, and I don't think I'd be comfortable walking around after dark.
Authorities still searching for 25-year-old Jessica Tompkins. She was last seen in April. And you can read much more about all these cases and this story in general right now. Just head to KSAT.com. Well, bars, music venues, and restaurant owners in San Antonio, they could soon be impacted by a possible sound ordinance change.
That's right. A city-appointed task force is considering recommendations by a sound consultant. So the report mentions a permit process, sound impact plan, and limitations on volume and hours for amplified sound. The final report is simply a recommendation that the task force, city attorneys, and council can consider as a baseline for a permitting process.
A lot of details about hours of operation for amplified sound and or different decibel levels. So we want to make sure the task force is comfortable with what's being proposed, but if not, what would they recommend being changed?
The date for the next noise task force meeting hasn't been set, but it should be before the end of this month. Just stay with us on KSAT and we'll keep you posted. And just a reminder, today University Health and Bexar County are teaming up to provide free flu shots. So flu shots will be offered to anyone who is 6 months and older today from 8 until noon at the Dub Ferris Athletic Complex that's near Brandeis High School. Doctors say although flu cases have been down the past 2 years, that may not be the case this year. So registration is required for these shots. You can find the link on our website right now before they start giving them out. KSAT.com under the KSAT Community tab. Other drive-through clinics like this one will be throughout this month in October. And we also have those dates listed online.
Time now, just about 8:06, 76 degrees out.
So when it comes to feeding your baby, you want to give them the best, right? Well, still to come, the baby foods you need to know about.
And good news is you get ready for breakfast this morning. David Elder taking us to some places around town. Earlier today, he showed us a golden burger.
But that looks good. This one looks good.
Unlike the golden burger. No, this does look delicious. We're going to have
so
an
good.
inside look in just a bit.
All right. I mean, you can just like feel the humidity. You feel the humidity even if you're inside.
What is it? The haunting humidity?
Haunting, the lingering. I don't know. I can go on about it. 807, 76 degrees. Will we see rain today? Will we see cooler temps? Sarah Spivey will let us know when we come back.
What's going on with this one? This is the Barbacoa Tostada. It's our own creation. Starts with a baked corn tortilla, fresh refried beans, lean barbacoa, an over medium fried egg, blessed with salsa ranchera, and a scoop of avocado on top. We got some lime. We got to use it, put it on top, dress them up. These things look absolutely fantastic. And look at that. Super sturdy, nice and crunchy on the bottom. Cheers. Cheers. All right, has a bite. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. It gets all over your face.
Yes.
Okay,
100%
that's
yes.
definitely not a cute bite.
No.
No way to eat that nice.
No,
No.
but that looks so good. I've been there.
So
It's
good.
very, very good. Blessed with the
guac.
I love that. That was awesome.
That's fantastic. All right.
Are we going to be blessed with any rain today, Sarah?
Some people will, Sarah. Some people will. Coverage like the last couple of days is going to be isolated, but wherever rain falls, it could be heavy at times. I want to show you a look at the 24-hour rainfall amounts, at least radar estimated rainfall amounts. Again, most of San Antonio missed out on the rain. You can see that there's a lot of blank space there, but yesterday there was a shower and storm that fell over the northwest side and Medina Lake area, about an inch of radar estimated rain out there. And then during Friday night lights yesterday, we did have one storm that moved through Bulverde all the way down to China Grove. Here's a look at those rainfall estimates in the neighborhood view. Near Windcrest, almost an inch and a half of rain along 35 from 410 up to 1604. There's about an inch of rain in those areas. And then near Clemens High School, Schertz area, radar estimated rainfall of about an inch. But again, many people missed out on the rain, and a lot like yesterday, this afternoon, there's going to be some isolated showers and even perhaps an isolated storm. Time frame is 3 p.m. till about 8 p.m. Coverage should only be 20%. So if you get a shower or storm, you're going to be lucky one. Most folks will miss out on today's rain. Here's a look outside right now. You can see how thick the humidity is there off in the distance. Dew points in the low 70s, very high humidity, 77 degrees. We've got winds from the southwest at about 5 miles per hour. Today, those winds are going to be variable, changing direction and fairly light, 5 miles per hour or so. In Kirtville this morning, it's 73 degrees. Good morning in Rock Springs. It's 70, 72 in Carrizo Springs, 74 in Pleasanton, 73 in Gonzales, 74 in Del Rio. Take a look at the futurecast. Again, most of today is going to be completely quiet. We'll be looking at humid conditions, but then by about 3 p.m., that's when we'll start to see some blips on the radar. They'll try to make a run for the San Antonio metro area from about 3 p.m. till about 8 p.m. There's going to be a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm. And again, most people will miss out on the rain. And once we see the sunset, our rain chance will go with it. 94 today in San Antonio for the high temperature. Will be a bit above the average. 95 in New Braunfels, 94 in Devine, 93 in Poteet, 93 in Uvalde, 95 in Gonzales, 92 in Kerrville, and 90 in Bernie. Today, just to recap everything I said, around 10 we'll be at 80 degrees, 86 around noon. We should be mostly sunny close to noon, a few more clouds in the afternoon with that 20% chance for an isolated downpour. Light and variable winds, and the sun's going to set at 7:45 tonight. I do have to mention, today is an Ozone Action Day. In the afternoon, ozone will be a little bit higher out there, and so if you are somebody who struggles with respiratory issues, know that the air could be unhealthy for you outside. Otherwise, it's going to be a fairly healthy day out there air quality wise. Now, post-tropical storm Kay is bringing the potential for some flooding rains across parts of California. Here's a cold front that's going to be moving through San Antonio tomorrow. Take a look at temperatures behind the front. Temperatures are in the 40s. Now, before you get excited, unfortunately, this isn't going to knock our temperatures down all that much, but it will be bringing some drier air into the area. So not our first real deal fall front, but still knocking down the humidity by a couple of notches, making things breezy in the second part of the day tomorrow. And looking at the week ahead, temperatures will be in the mid-90s. More on that Ozone Action Day coming up in the next half hour. Max and Sarah.
All right, Sarah Bobby, thank you so much. 8:15, 76 degrees out.
Well, the battle between homemade and store-bought baby food, it's heating up this morning after the break. Which one is safer for your child?
Good morning and welcome back. When it comes to baby food, is homemade safer than store-bought? Not really. Apparently, this is according to a group that tested several foods for toxic metals.
Terrifying. So not exactly what moms and dads want to hear this morning. So 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has some ways to minimize that exposure.
Alondra Alberti makes her own baby food for her daughter Rain.
I worry about what's in store baby food all the time because I just don't know what to trust, what's in the soil where that product is being raised.
But homemade might pose the same problems as store-bought, according to a new report from Healthy Babies Bright Futures.
When it comes to detectable levels of heavy metals, the report found that homemade baby food is no safer than store-bought.
Those heavy metals include lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury. The biggest offender, food made from rice, like rice puffs and rice cereals.
While heavy metals naturally exist in the environment, most metals in food come from farming practices or industrial pollution. And certain ingredients like rice or spinach are more likely to absorb certain metals.
Children's exposure to heavy metals has been linked to behavioral issues, lower IQs, and ADHD. The FDA has announced plans to limit metals in certain foods. Until then, experts say the best thing parents can do is offer a variety of foods, like Alondra does.
She loves sweet potato, so what I do is that I mix sweet potato with a little bit of raspberries.
Consumer Report says focus on foods that tend to have lower levels of heavy metals, like bananas, oranges, eggs, and meats. Eat fresh or frozen instead of canned. Replace infant rice cereal with infant oatmeal. Peel sweet potatoes and carrots, and offer water instead of fruit juices. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, 8:20, 76 degrees out.
Manu!
Just one more time for the people in the back.
Manu!
Thank you. A big honor for the Spurs legend, Manu Ginobili. Just ahead, Greg Simmons takes a look at the recognition that Manu is receiving.
I'm thrilled to be here for him and most importantly to have been a teammate of his.
From former teammates to current Hall of Famers, Manu Ginobili belongs with the pro basketball elite.
Tenacity. Yeah, he played always 100%. I can always see him driving, thriving, trying to get to the hoop.
His passion and love for the game is what has also attracted him to fans from all over the world. In fact, that's one of the questions Manu was asked today. Where does that tenacity come from?
I noticed it very early on. I never looked for it. I didn't choose it. I didn't practice it. It was ingrained somewhere. I don't know if it's in genes or something happened in my family that I got impregnated with that craziness.
Manu is also the first player from Argentina to suit up in the NBA.
A very unlikely outcome for a kid born where I was born, but super grateful of every single person and team along the way.
But for enshrinement, the hardware and jackets had to be passed down. And look who delivered Manu's. His sons, Dante, Nico, and Luca. What a moment.
That is so amazing, so adorable, so powerful.
I love that it was his boys.
Yes, there was a behind the scenes where they were taking pictures and he threw the ball to one of his sons. He threw it back and he almost hit all the lights down.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was a real father-son moment. But no, congratulations, Manu, and thank you for everything you've done for
Thank you so much. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Time now is 8:25, 76 degrees out.
All right, coming up in our next half hour, how inflation can affect those who are getting close to retirement. We will tell you what you can do to deal with those rising costs.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. Just about 8:30 this morning. We're coming off our respective weekends because, we have Thursday, Friday off. Did you do anything fun? Did you make it outside?
I loved watching the rain yesterday evening.
Well, brag over here.
Sorry, I'm sorry if you didn't get any, but I did. Sarah, I posted and tagged Mr. Toad, this giant toad. I swear, he's like this big now.
We got to come up with a more creative name than Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad.
I like Mr. Toad. So Mr. Toad, the giant toad that lives in your garden, comes out every time you get some rain, right?
Yes, or right before it rains. He's
That's
like, hey,
awesome.
It's going to rain.
It is a pretty big toad. It's on our Instagram.
It's terrifying.
If you want. Hey, we did get the pollen count in, though, and some areas that received rain yesterday, molds have gone up. Molds are now high, past 4,000. We do have grass, pigweed, and ragweed out there, but they're all low. Molds are definitely the issue today. Now, today, temperatures will be warmer than average. We're forecasting the low to mid 90s, and there is, once again, another chance for some isolated rain between about 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. A lot like the last couple of afternoons when we've had some isolated downpours. That's the way it's going to look out there today. So not everyone will see rain. And Sunday, a cool front will move through. It'll make it a little less humid. We'll talk about that in the full forecast. First, I want to take a look outside right now. The humidity is so thick that it's lowering visibility in some places. Visibility down to 5 miles in Uvalde, down to 6 in New Braunfels. You can see the haze on the horizon from the humidity. It's 72 in Carrizo Springs. Good morning in Pleasanton. It's 75, 74 in Gonzales, 72 in New Braunfels, 73 in Kerrville, and 74 in Del Rio. Today, we're going to see those temperatures steadily rise. By lunch, we'll be in the mid to upper 80s, 94 for the high temperature. And again, there's that snapshot for that chance for rain, 20%, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sun's going to set at 8:45 and it'll be a warm evening. If you have any Saturday night plans, temperatures will be in the 80s, light and variable winds. More on how that cool front tomorrow will impact our weather coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Starting the morning off with a unique race at the San Antonio Zoo.
Our Camelia Wattis is there for all the fun action and joins us with the details.
Max, Sarah, the first race is just now wrapping up. We've been seeing little kids finishing along this way, and then the second race is going to start soon. But with me is Zoo spokesperson Kyle Perez. He's going to tell us why we're running today. Tell us about today's race.
Absolutely. So we're running because it is an exciting way to promote health and wellness for the little kiddos, but also show them our vision of securing a future for wildlife, which is the whole reason that San Antonio Zoo exists, is really for these animals. But to share that passion with these children is even better that we can do that today.
That's so awesome. And tell us what races they were running, how far, the ages. Talk to us about that.
For sure. So it was 1 to 5 year olds, as you see walking by us right now, jaunting by us, and they're doing a quarter-mile race throughout San Antonio Zoo, and then our 5 to 11 year olds will do a half-mile race with a different route through San Antonio Zoo as well.
And that's so cool. Why is it cool to run through the zoo?
Well, it's so beautiful here. First of all, it's a lot of parkway, which is a lot of cool things to see, nature. We have a wonderful horticulture team, but also these animals are really vibrant and excited in the mornings, and this is a great way to experience it, running by them as you go through the zoo.
Awesome. What's next for the zoo?
For sure. So it is Frontline Heroes Appreciation Month, so doctors, nurses, policemen, firemen, and EMTs can come free to San Antonio Zoo in the month of September. And that gives you 2 free weeks of Zoo Boo, which starts next Saturday, September 17th.
Well, we look forward to it, and hopefully we can go to Zoo Boo, but until then, we'll throw it right back to you, Max and Sarah, reporting live from the zoo.
Also today, from 10 to 2, there is going to be a dog adoption event by God's Dogs Rescue. Will be held at Dogtopia Doggy Daycare just outside Loop 410. More than 40 rescue puppies will be up for adoption. All of these dogs, of course, are spayed, neutered, chipped, and vaccinated. The adoption fee for adult dogs is $200 and $250 for puppies.
All right, we're going to take a live look out at Buckingham Palace. Britain's King Charles. He shook hands with dozens of members of the public outside of Buckingham Palace just yesterday. Obviously, an emotional situation. Well-wishers were taking pictures. They greeted the new monarch following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth, on Thursday.
Also on Thursday, a double rainbow appeared over Buckingham Palace. It was beautiful to see that as members of the public gathered outside to pay their respects to the Queen. Thousands have been gathering to honor the member of the monarchy. And this is video of when King Charles was proclaimed monarch from the St. James Palace balcony. It happened in a pomp-filled ceremony steeped in ancient tradition and political symbolism. For the first time, this was broadcasted live. Now, King Charles, who spent 7 decades as heir, the accession ceremony was a key constitutional and ceremony step in introducing the new monarch to the country.
Well, back here at home, the Bandera County Sheriff's Department hosting a job fair looking to fill 70 law enforcement positions. Some of those would be in the Law Enforcement Bureau. Supervisors, investigators, even civilian support staff. A lot of job openings. Now, this job fair starts in about 25 minutes, goes until 11 this morning. Take a look at your screen. This is going to be happening at 3233 North St. Mary's. It's the YMCA Tri-Point. You're asked to wear comfortable gym clothes, tennis shoes. Those interested in attending are asked to text the word deputy to 210-934-7028.
Well, there are new developments in the criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump's possible mishandling of classified documents. So lawyers for Trump and the DOJ submitted proposals to a federal judge for who should serve as a special master to yesterday. The DOJ nominated 2 retired federal judges to review materials taken from Trump's home, Mar-a-Lago, last month. Trump's legal team chose 1 lawyer and a retired federal judge. The submitted proposals also included how the process should work.
And a terrible situation out of California. A former principal in Fresno facing a misdemeanor charge for shoving a special needs student to the ground. The Fresno Unified School District releasing this surveillance video from the June incident. In it, the 11-year-old appears to be talking to former principal Brian Volhart. The child gestures towards him, points his finger twice. Volhart then pushes him to the ground. Still unclear what exactly led to the situation, but according to the arrest warrant, Volhart says the student was getting in his face and making threats. It's reported that the student did not have any injuries.
Although inflation may be slowing down somewhat, the cost of living is still increasing at a much higher rate than it has in recent years.
That's right. Rent prices hitting record highs seemingly month after month, and it can be especially difficult for people in retirement or nearing retirement. So this morning, we're talking about what retirees or soon-to-be retirees can do to help deal with inflation. With inflation at 40-year highs and interest rates now soaring, retirees and those near retirement, they are feeling the pinch.
Retirement is 25, 30 years on average for people. And we want to make sure that the money that we have saved for that time frame is going to last.
CNET Money Editor-at-Large says there are things that retirees can do to fight inflation, starting with looking for ways to cut expenses, like subscriptions.
If you have some subscriptions that maybe you took on pre-retirement and maybe you forgot about them, or they feel like they're not a lot of money every month, but over the year it can be hundreds of dollars, consider unplugging them. And there are apps out there that can help you do that.
If you're on a fixed income, another thing you can do is check how the money you've saved is being invested.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that just because you're retired doesn't mean you have to stop investing for your retirement.
Experts say a financial advisor or trusted family member can help in looking at your retirement plan and your investment plan and your rate of withdrawal. With interest rates rising, strategize about how to pay off any debt you may have.
So if you do have outstanding credit card debt or any sort of personal loans, car loans where the interest rate could adjust higher as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, prioritize that because that's going to cost you a lot of money in this environment.
And with unemployment rates low and wages rising, the strategist says it might be time to think about going back to work to recover some of the money that inflation is taking.
if you spent your entire career working and exercising a skill or a talent, maybe there's a way to still leverage that, to monetize that in retirement through part-time work. So don't be afraid to get back in the game.
Time now, 8:38, 77 degrees out.
All right, coming up, Sarah Spivey, like she was talking about earlier, it is Ozone Action Day. After the break, she's going to explain exactly what this means.
And while she does, we're going to take a live look out at the Alamo City. What did you say earlier? The haunting humidity or lingering humidity?
Either. Seeping.
Seeping humidity.
Like seeps into your house.
Okay. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey for a more scientific approach. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has issued an Ozone Action Day for the San Antonio area today.
All right, so atmospheric conditions are expected to be favorable for producing high levels of ozone air pollution. Sarah Spivey is going to explain this much better than me, but this is what we got so far. It's important to know that on Ozone Action Day, young children, the elderly, those with respiratory problems like asthma, you can be vulnerable to some of the effects of the air pollution, and you should limit your outdoor activity. So Sarah Spivey, break it down for us.
Well, and you know, if you know that you are sensitive to ozone, you're very familiar with Ozone Action Days. You probably check the air quality frequently. Now, the Texas Commission for Environmental Quality, they issue these Ozone Action Days throughout the year. Sometimes they don't even verify, to be honest with you, but it's really only for a short period of time in the afternoon that the ozone levels could be unhealthy for those who are sensitive to it. So if you know that you're sensitive to ozone, check the air quality outside and take a look at your graphics right now. You can see that most of the San Antonio metro area is under this Ozone Action Day. Ozone typically tends to collect around the higher population density areas due to extra pollution. And again, just to remind you, for a couple of hours this afternoon, the air could be unhealthy for those who are sensitive to it, those who have asthma and respiratory issues. Otherwise, you may not notice much of a difference out there. I was trying to bring up some pictures here from the yesterday, but that graphic was going to show that we've got isolated downpours yesterday around San Antonio. And today we're going to have isolated downpours as well this afternoon from about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. This morning outside right now, can you see the humidity on the horizon? It is so humid outside that it's lowering visibility by a couple of miles in a few spots, like out near New Braunfels. Visibility is down to 6 miles. Visibility down to 9 at GMSA Randolph and down to 7 in Pleasanton. All right, here's today's atmospheric setup for you. Off to the west, there's actually post-tropical storm K, which is bringing healthy and heavy rains across Southern California. It might be too much of a good thing for those across Southern California toward Las Vegas, as a flood watch is in effect in those areas through the day today. Before the break, I teased that we have a cold front on the horizon. That front right now is working its way through the Central Plains. It is not going to get cold from this front. Instead, we are just going to see a pretty decent drop in humidity from tomorrow afternoon through Monday. We'll talk about that more in a moment. But today's weather is really going to be impacted by this trough of low pressure right over New Orleans in Louisiana. This low pressure system is going to swing around pieces of energy, and into the afternoon, a lot like the last couple of afternoons, there is a 20% chance for an isolated downpour. Take a look at the high-res futurecast. Again, most of today is going to be quiet, hot, humid, but after about 3 p.m., that's when we'll see a couple of isolated showers and storms pepper the radar. Chance for rain is only about 20% at where you live, but still, the chance for an interruption of outdoor plans this afternoon from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. is possible. But once we see the sun set, those rain chances will go away. Today is going to be a hot one. High temperature in Del Rio will be 95, 93 in Canyon Lake, 95 in Gonzales, 95 in Cotulla, 94 in Pleasanton. Some neighborhoods around San Antonio, 94 in Seguin, 95 in New Braunfels, 90 in Boerne, 95 in Gonzales, 94 in Floresville, 94 in Sabinal, and 94 in Bandera. Looking at today's forecast, we've got some clouds out there right now, but your KSAT 12-hour forecast shows that we'll see mostly sunny skies by lunch, and then it's after 3 p.m. that we see that 20% chance for an isolated downpour through about 8 p.m. Otherwise hot, 94 for the high temperature. Winds will be light and variable. All right, let's talk about that front. So that front is going to move through tomorrow in the mid-morning, early afternoon hours, and it's going to drop the humidity pretty significantly. In the early morning hours, you're going to notice how humid it is, but by about lunch, those dew points will be falling, and it'll feel pretty pleasant in the afternoon with low humidity, but it'll still be pretty hot, high temperature in the low to mid 90s. And again, the lower humidity will stick with us for a good portion of this upcoming week, but by about Tuesday night, we'll see the humidity back again. A stray morning shower with that front arriving early tomorrow is possible, and then it'll be breezy behind that front. And again, it's just a cool front in name. You can see that we're actually going to be hotter Monday and Tuesday with our highs in the mid to upper 90s. So a nice welcome change to see the humidity down for a bit. And if you do happen to see a shower or storm this afternoon, make sure to post those pictures on KSAT Connect on our weather app. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, time now. It's just about 8:47, 77 degrees out. Oh, we'll talk about some good Friday night lights. Roping Sarah in here. Some of those games actually got delayed because of the rain. But don't worry, we got some great finishes, some great highlights, best catches, touchdowns. I want to watch this one. Hold on.
I want to watch it too.
Oh, yeah.
That last one was really good.
Look at that. Unstoppable.
Dang.
Right to the pylon. We're going to have all the best highlights in just a bit. Welcome back. In big game coverage from last night, a huge matchup between number 5 Harlan, number 2 Brennan, District 29 6A opener for both. The Bears bite first. Ashton DeBose standing tall in the pocket, finding a wide open Avron Carter strolling to the end zone, 33 yards, 7-0 Bears. The Hawks strike back. Running back Jacob Gonzalez taking the handoff, following the blockers, getting to the corner of the end zone, tying it at 7, but it was all Bears after that. Running back Jason Love starts up the middle, finds the seam, goes untouched, 17 yards to the house, 14-7 Bears. Then just before the half, DeBose rolls out, lobs it to his brother Aaron in the end zone, 20 yards. Love, the brotherly love, touchdown, 27-7 Brennan half. Brennan wouldn't stop from there. They would roll on 48-10. That is just one of the big games in our big game coverage that we've covered last night. For a complete list of all the BGC live stream schedule, scan the QR code on the screen. We have several more games coming up. A great way to watch if you can't make it out. And speaking of great games to watch, oh my goodness, the games today. I'm not going to leave the couch, Sarah Costa. We got UTSA at Army. Remember, UTSA coming off of that heartbreaker OT loss against Houston last week. So UTSA at Army, 11 a.m. Bama at UT right now, at last check. Alabama is a 3-touchdown favorite in Austin. That's at 11 a.m. And, of course, we have the Aggies, Texas A&M, Appalachian State. That happening this morning as well. So a bunch of great games for our Texas teams. And, of course, we're going to have all the coverage throughout the shows, online, on air tonight. And then, of course, GMSA tomorrow morning.
Who's favored to win? UTSA, UT, or A&M? Or all three of them?
If they were all playing.
No, I'm saying in each game.
Okay, so it's UTSA, I think, is like a 2-point favorite over Army.
Okay. UT?
UT is like, they're the underdog by like 3 touchdowns.
Okay. And what about Sarah?
Aggies, I would say they're at least a 2-touchdown favorite.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll see.
Time now. Are you betting on all these games? Is that why you want
no comment.
8:53, 77 degrees out.
All right, get ready to lace up your shoes after the break. Why the Head for the Cure race means so much to so many, and how you can take part. Well, this month, KSAT Community is helping with a race near and dear to our hearts, Head for the Cure.
So this year will be the 9th annual 5K run walk, and it raises money and raises awareness for those in our community battling brain tumors. So this is obviously something very close to us here at KSAT. Many participate in memory of our former news director, Jim Boyle. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor after suffering a seizure in September of 2013.
The tumor later caused a brain bleed, and Jim died 6 months after being diagnosed. His daughter, Erin, helped bring Head for the Cure to San Antonio in 2014, not only in Jim's memory, but in memory of all those who are battling or who have passed away from brain cancer.
It is a great way to celebrate loved ones who have been through a lot and to celebrate the community that forms around them.
Well, Tim Boyle has raised more than $100,000.
So this year's race route will again run right past KSAT 12. Registration is open and will be open until race day. That is September 24th. You can get $5 off registration right now with the promo code KSAT. You can find all this information, how and where to register. Just head to ksat.com. Time now, 8:57, 77 degrees out.
Ahead in our next hour, GMSA, some medical conditions are more likely to affect women than men. We'll tell you which ones have that big impact. This morning on GMSA, we're working to bring you the latest on an overnight shooting that happened on the southeast side, what police are saying about the victims.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, it is 77 degrees now. Some of you lucky people out there got some rain yesterday. Could we get more today? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Good morning. It is 9 o'clock. It is Saturday. It is September 10th. Thank you so much for starting your weekend with us.
Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Did you get any rain at your place?
No.
No, you
Zero
sound a
rain.
little bitter.
Zero rain. I also don't have a garden. So speaking of the garden, is it still alive? Is it prosperous?
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Really?
Yeah, well, after that downpour, Sarah Spivey, it was like, this morning it was just like singing. It was like so happy.
I'm so happy to hear you
like a
got
Disney
some good
movie.
rain.
It was a Disney movie. I had Mr. Toad out talking to me.
Yeah.
I had the garden singing.
Well, it was a bit of a lucky, unlucky situation last night because some of those football games did get delayed for quite some time because of the isolated storm that moved through the east side of town. And a lot like yesterday and the day before, in the afternoon today, we're going to have a chance for some isolated showers and storms. Outside right now, though, take a look at that beautiful look at the sun rising behind those clouds. It's 78 degrees. It is mostly cloudy at the moment, but the dew points, the humidity is so high. We've already got a heat index. Feels like 81 out there. Take a look at the satellite temperatures across south central Texas. Generally, a lot of us are waking up in the low to mid 70s, even the upper 70s around the San Antonio metro area. It's 74 in Kerrville, 76 in Del Rio. Good morning in Hondo, it's 78, 78 in Pleasanton, and 77 in New Braunfels. As we zoom in here, you can see that some areas are enjoying a little bit more sunshine, like Canyon Lake and New Braunfels, but there's plenty of cloud cover around the San Antonio metro area at the moment. It's 79 at Port SA, 79 in Castroville, 73 in New Berney, and 72 in Comfort and Kerrville. Today, we're going to be able to see a high temperature of 94. Generally, it's going to be a hot and humid day out there, but again, between about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's when we could have an isolated downpour on the radar. We're going to be keeping an eye on that. But a lot like yesterday, if you do happen to catch an isolated downpour, there could be some lightning with it and some brief heavy rain as well. Now tomorrow, 93 degrees for the high temperature, a stray morning shower. And the reason why we say that in the morning there could be a stray morning shower is a cool front is actually going to be moving through in the early morning hours tomorrow. Now, before you get too excited, it's not going to cool us down too much, but it is going to help out with the humidity. More details on that coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Right now, an investigation is underway after one man was found shot in a parking lot and another found in a truck overnight on the city's southeast side. This happened around 2:30 in the morning on Aquarius near South Presa and East South Cross. We're told officers arrived and found the men with gunshot wounds. They were both taken to the hospital. At this point, it's unclear who the suspect is in this case.
Developing now, we have new information about the shooting in the Uvalde Memorial Park yesterday. Uvalde Police Department releasing mugshots of 2 of the 4 suspects, 22-year-old Carolyn Valdez and 17-year-old Donovan Hill. A third suspect, a 16-year-old. They are being held at a facility in Del Rio. The 4th suspect identified as 18-year-old Brandon Alba. All 4 suspects accused in the gang-related shooting. 2 victims still recovering in hospitals here in San Antonio.
Well, topping your morning headlines, 11 major wildfires are spreading across California as the states deal with severe weather conditions. CAL FIRE reports nearly 75,000 firefighters are battling these blazes. The agency says brutally hot conditions along with the West Coast are helping flames grow. Wildfires have scorched more than 272,000 acres so far this year. And today is also World Suicide Prevention Day, which is a leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds.
800,000 people die from suicide each year across the world. The International Association for Suicide Prevention says people more vulnerable to suicide have mental health conditions like anxiety and depression. They often feel like they're trapped and alone with no other options.
Meanwhile, the new mental health care crisis hotline is already helping hundreds of thousands of people. The hotline itself isn't new, but it recently got a new number. All people have to do now is dial 8988 to reach help. The Department of Health and Human Services says more than 360,000 people called or texted that line in August. That's up by more than 150,000 calls from just a year ago.
Time now just about 9:05, 78 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, a delivery driver for UPS gets involved in a dog rescue. How he found out the pets were in deep trouble, that's coming up.
Let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. 78 degrees now. It's creeping up towards 80. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey. Your full forecast. How hot will it get? Will we see rain? There's whispers of a possible cold front.
Whispers.
Sarah Spivey's going to explain in just a bit.
Now to the high cost of living in some cities, including here in San Antonio.
So it's forcing school districts to use some ingenuity to attract teachers to their classrooms.
ABC's Megan Norwood has a story.
From the outside, it's your typical luxury apartment building. There's a fitness center, playground, and laundry facilities. But it's the tenants inside, mostly teachers, that make 705 Serramonte one of a kind. In fact, it was built just for them.
We decided to build educational housing because we have a difficult time attracting and retaining staff.
The Jefferson Union High School District had been struggling for years. They're one of the lowest funded districts in the San Francisco area. A starting salary for teachers is about $60,000 per year, yet the average rental rate, nearly $3,400, among the highest in the nation. For high school math teacher Nicole Ann Polo, she finally has a place to call her own.
Before this, I was living with my parents basically my entire life because that's the only place I could afford to.
And the building brought Corazon Gabanton's family together. She was hired from the Philippines 4 years ago.
When I got here, I'm like, okay, I can get now my children from Philippines.
This morning, the president of the American Federation of Teachers reacting to the teacher shortage in the San Francisco area. According to a study by the Department of Education, 62% of public schools in June reported that they were concerned about filling vacant positions. In Nevada, thousands of openings across the state. And in Seattle, student support! Hundreds of teachers on strike, demanding the district improve the staffing ratios. And this morning, still no resolution.
And that was ABC's Megan Norwood reporting. Back here at home, a reminder today, University Health and Bandera County are teaming up to provide free flu shots. Those flu shots will be offered to anyone 6 months and older today from 8 until noon at the Dub Ferris Athletic Complex that's near Brandeis High School. Doctors say although flu cases have been down the past 2 years, that may not be the case this year. Registration is required. You can find the link on our website on KSAT.com under the KSAT Community tab. Other drive-through clinics like this one will be held throughout this month and October. We also have a list of those dates online as well.
All right, we know it's a weekend. A lot of people have a lot of plans outside. Sarah, what can they expect?
Well, mostly quiet day, but a lot like the last few days between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. there is going to be a couple of isolated showers and storms out there, just like there was last night. Take a look out there at the radar estimated rainfall. You can see just how isolated these showers and storms were. Some people got some good rain, others missed out completely. In fact, most missed out completely. Let's take a look at radar estimated rainfall across the northwest side near Helotes, about an inch of radar estimated rain. And then on the east side, this particular storm really did interrupt some of the Friday night light games out there. From Bulverde all the way down to China Grove, we saw one isolated storm that pushed through the east side of Bandera County. In fact, some areas got some good soaking rains, about an inch and a half near Windcrest and up I-35 between 410 and 1604. Near Clemens High School, about an inch of rain too. But as you can see, again, there were a lot of folks that missed out on the rain. And this kind of isolated rainfall activity is pretty random wherever it sets up, but wherever it does, there tends to be some heavy rain, even some lightning and perhaps some gusty winds as well. Now, our rain chances today, coverage is only going to be about 20%, and again, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's the time frame there. Outside right now, we're starting to see these skies clear out a bit, but it's still mostly cloudy at the airport. 78 degrees, feels like 81. The reason for that, it is so humid outside. Dew points are in the low 70s. But humidity will be changing in the next 24 hours. We'll talk about that in a bit. For now, take a look at your wake-up temperatures out there. 74 in Uvalde. Good morning in Pleasanton. It's 78 in Gonzales, 77 in New Braunfels, 74 in Kerrville, and 76 in Del Rio. Here's the futurecast for the day. Again, most of the day today is going to be quiet. You should be able to enjoy your outdoor activities. After 3 p.m., though, that's when we'll see a few blips on the radar. About a 20% chance for isolated showers and storms through about 8 p.m. around San Antonio and the metro area. Then as we lose the daytime heating after sunset at 7:45, we'll see our rain chances end for the day. Outside today, high temperature of 95 in New Braunfels. In Floresville, it'll be 94 in Devine, 93 in Rio Medina, 90 in Bernie, 92 in Comfort and Kerrville. The average high temperature this time of year is 91, so we're going to be a bit warmer than average. It'll be 94 in San Antonio. By 10, we'll be at 80 degrees. Pretty nice for the lunch hour if you want to have some lunch outside. 86 degrees outside around noon. It will be humid, though. Light and variable winds, 94 for the high temperature, and that 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm. We've been talking about this throughout the morning, but today is an Ozone Action Day. For a couple of hours this afternoon, the ozone levels will be a little bit higher than normal. And so if you do have any kind of respiratory issues, the air quality may be unhealthy for you for a brief period of time for those who are sensitive to that. By far, though, the thing that's going to be impacting us the most outside, as far as allergies go, are molds. Molds are high today, past 4,000 in the pollen count. We've also got grass pigweed and ragweed, but they are all three of those are low. All right, let's take a look at our atmospheric setup across the nation. The remnants post-tropical storm K is bringing a lot of heavy rain to Southern California, and those areas could actually experience some flooding. Meanwhile, on our doorstep is a cold front. Yeah, a cold front. It's starting to be that time of year where we start to see these cold fronts set up. Temperatures behind this front are actually quite chilly. It's 46 degrees in Denver this morning. But before you get too excited for that fall feeling, temperatures are not going to fall all that much because of this cool front. But what is going to help it feel a little bit more comfortable out there is that when this front moves through tomorrow, Sunday, it's going to bring some drier air in from the north as well. So for a couple of days there, from tomorrow afternoon through the early part of Tuesday, it's actually going to be pretty dry outside, low humidity, which is nice. There still could be a stray morning shower early tomorrow before that front moves through. After that front moves through, it'll be breezy on Sunday. We'll see wind gusts of up to about 20 miles per hour from the north. Take a look at those morning lows. Monday and Tuesday, it'll be close to 70 degrees in the morning, and with low humidity, it should feel actually pretty nice outside. But in the afternoons, it's going to be hot. Temperatures will be in the mid-90s for most of next week. We'll have another isolated rain shower possible Thursday and Friday, but no big rainmakers in our future over the next few days. I saw Max, he was a little upset about the no big rainmakers there in our future, but yeah, don't worry, Max, you still got an isolated shot this afternoon.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm just happy there's no triple digits on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Me
nice
too.
To see. Nice to see. It is September after all.
Thank you, Sarah. Time now just about 9:16, 78 degrees out.
Coming up, a 78-year-old hits the trail to take on one of America's greatest hiking challenges. We'll look at what inspired him to do it and what he's learned along the way.
And after the break, a daring dog rescue involving a UPS delivery driver. What the pup's owners are now saying about the entire ordeal. That's still ahead.
Taking a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 4, 3, 4, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 6, 9, 8, 4, Fireball 6. Max, I won a big $2.
I was gonna tease it a little bit. Cash 5, 11, 28, 29, 33, 35. And then here we go. We know we have a Mega Millions winner in the room.
What? $2?
Sarah Kosa, congratulations. What are you going to do with all that money?
Oh, maybe I'll share it with you and Sarah Spivey.
That would be so
Each
generous.
get $1.
Breakfast tacos on Sarah Costa. For all you other people who played the Mega Millions, 16, 21, 54, 55, 69, big number 22, Mega Plier 2. Good luck. We'll be right back.
Dogs and delivery man don't always have a great relationship. In Iowa, UPS driver is being credited with saving two of his customers' dogs from drowning.
So it was a normal day for Colin Mitchell dropping off a package at the home of Jeff and Rebecca Mara. So he was walking back to his truck. Despite it being super hot outside, he felt it was strange to see two dogs swimming in a pool without their owners being around. He then knocked on the door, realized that they were unsupervised. The homeowners were not there. So Colin ran to the pool, removed his socks and shoes, tried to save the dogs. So once both the dogs were back in the yard, Colin, a dog owner himself, gave a sigh of relief. He continued his route for the day.
Weren't for him, we wouldn't have dogs. That's no question about it.
I would say he's a hero.
He is a hero. And the next day, Colin stopped by to check on the dogs. The owners say they were shocked about the incident, obviously very grateful. They say both dogs are rescues and they were rescued again. Look at them, they're adorable.
They're adorable. All right, also in Iowa, a zoo has big news about a baby animal that's over 5 feet tall. Meet Plank.
How tall?
I mean, I know I'm the same size. Yes,
okay.
Yes, I got that. All right, so this is Blank. No, I'm sorry. His name is not Blank. Meet the Blank Park Zoo's new baby boy giraffe. Only 3 days old and already at 5'5". Wow. And weighing, I think that's taller than Sarah Spivey, and weighing in at 107 pounds. The calf only looks small next to his parents. The zoo hasn't named their infant just yet, so zookeepers plan to release several names for the new giraffe. I know it's always a big deal when the zoo is naming an animal. The public will be asked to vote on their favorite starting September 14th.
We got to keep our eye on this one.
Yes.
Because I want to know the final name. I want to vote.
5'5".
Yeah, I like the name Blank for what it's worth.
Blank.
Yeah. You accidentally named it, but I think it could work.
I kind of like that.
The Blank something zoo. You're good to go.
There you go.
All right. Time now, 9:22, 78 degrees out.
Still to come, it seems like pumpkin spice is taking over everything these days. Why the people in charge of the dictionary say you should get used to it. Coming up.
Good morning and welcome back. So life's all about a journey. Journey takes us down different paths. So a current path, a new path, coming really late in life for a 78-year-old Minnesota man, and that path takes him through the Appalachian Trail. Egan Overgaard started walking the trail in Georgia in March. He made it to Maine by September. If you don't know geography, that's a ways away from each other. Egan has spent the last few years caring for his wife of 57 years, Carol. She was battling a terminal illness. When she passed away last winter, he was lost until he found a new purpose. Egan's stroll has taken him across the eastern part of the United States through snow, sleet, rain, and an unforgiving sun. When it's all said and done, Egan will have walked through 14 states.
Disney, that's a movie for you guys. All right, from cookies to cake and of course lattes, pumpkin spice is everywhere, and now it's even in the dictionary. So Merriam-Webster tweeted about adding an entry for that seasonal object of love and hate, defining pumpkin spice as, quote, a mixture of usually cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and often allspice that is commonly used in pumpkin pie. So Merriam-Webster's editor says words are only added to the dictionary when it's clear they're consistently used. And as you know, whether you like it or not, pumpkin spice is a huge part of every fall. I think that should have been added as PSL.
Are you a pumpkin spice person?
Yes, PSL, pumpkin spice latte.
Okay. That's all I have to say. 9:27, 79 degrees out.
All right, still ahead at 9:30. Some medical conditions are more likely to affect women than men after the break. We'll tell you which ones.
Plus, as the world mourns the loss of Queen Elizabeth, we're going to take a look at what comes next for the royals. And it's coming in the next coming weeks. We'll be right back. Good morning. morning, welcome back, and happy weekend. 9:30 this morning. It is September 10th. We got a lot going on today, but we're both coming off our weekends. You feeling good this morning?
Feeling great.
Okay.
Had some good rest, some good rain. I feel like rain while you're trying to rest or catch up on a show, it's like, I don't know. There's nothing like it. I'm sorry you're part of
I was going to say, I wouldn't know at this point.
Not that I'm like rubbing it in your face or anything, Max.
Well, Max and Sarah, you bring up a good point. The rain yesterday was isolated. There were those who got a good amount of rain, especially on the east side of town, all the way up 35 toward Schertz-Cibolo area. But then there were those that completely missed out on it. Still, though, with rain in the area yesterday, the molds have gone up. Here's a look at the pollen count for the day today. Molds are high, past 4,000. Grass, pigweed, and ragweed are present too, but in low amounts. So the reason for your sneezing is most likely that mold. Now today, temperatures are going to be warmer than average. We'll be in the low to mid 90s. Generally, it's just going to be a warm and hot day. But a lot like the last few days, there is going to be an isolated downpour or two out there from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Sunday, though, we do have a cool front that'll be moving in place, and that'll bring in some less humid air. Now, I hate to tease you with the word cool front because it's really not going to be all that much cooler. In fact, really the biggest thing you'll notice is the humidity will be lower. I'll talk more in detail about that and show you the futurecast for today's rain chances coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, the Salvation Army collecting new shoes for more than 2,000 children in need, and it's happening at the Salvation Army, but it's happening for elementary schools across our community.
That's amazing, and today's the day that many of those kids are receiving those new shoes. Camelia Wattis joins us live from that spot where they're being handed out. Good morning. How's it looking out there, Camelia?
Good morning, Max, Sarah. It's really packed in here. It's the 41st Annual Shoo-In. So this has been happening for years. All these kids getting brand new shoes. And with me to learn more about this is Brad Mahar. He's here with us to talk to us. So what's going on today? And we've been doing it for years.
Yeah, well, thanks to a lot of support from the community, we're able to do this. We're able to give 2,000 Bandera County elementary school kids the experience of having a new pair of shoes. We start contacting the counselors in the summertime, or as school starts. They identify kids in their respective schools who didn't have that privilege of having the new pair of shoes when school started, and that's who we're here to help today. And thanks to the Najum Charitable Foundation, who were able to purchase the shoes, and we have more than 200 volunteers as well.
Yeah, and I'm looking at those shoes. They all look brand new. They look pretty cool. And tell me, why is it important for kids to have new shoes like this? I mean, they're great brands out here.
Yeah, and I think it just makes them feel good. You know, I think most people, you know, you remember when you went back to school, you had that experience of the new pair of shoes. You look forward to showing off when school started. And, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of kids in our community that don't have that same privilege. And so that's what we want to work with our local schools to identify those kids so we can bring those smiles to their faces.
And we're extremely thankful. I just see a lot of smiling faces around here, kids lighting up just because they see brand new shoes. They're trying them on. They get socks as well. Well, we'll keep you posted up with this story later on in the show. Max and Sarah, back to you.
Thank you, Camelia. Also happening today, the Bandera County Sheriff's Department hosting a job fair. They're looking to fill 70 law enforcement positions. Now, some of them would be in the Law Enforcement Bureau, supervisors, investigators, and civilian support staff. It started at 9 a.m. It's going to happen again at 11 this morning. It's all happening at the YMCA on North St. Mary Street, close to downtown. Applicants are asked to wear comfortable gym clothes and tennis shoes. Those interested in attending, you are asked to text the word deputy to the number on your screen. That is 210-934-7028.
Also today from 10 to 2, there is going to be a dog adoption event by God's Dogs Rescue. Just visit the Dogtopia Doggy Daycare just outside Loop 410. More than 40 rescue puppies will be up for adoption, and all dogs are spayed, neutered, chipped, and vaccinated. Adoption fee for adult dogs is $200 and $250 for puppies. And the British Commonwealth may be in mourning over the passing of Queen Elizabeth, but it's also looking ahead to the new era of the monarchy.
Big changes in everything from currency to stamps to UK's national anthem. Lama Hassan is at Buckingham Palace with more.
Queen Elizabeth II was the country's longest-serving and much-loved monarch and is still arguably the most famous woman in the world. Her face gracing almost everything in sight, from stamps to coins and banknotes. In 1960, she became the first British royal to have a photo featured on paper bills, with her likeness on currencies in Commonwealth countries, including Canada, New Zealand and Australia. Her insignia also emblazoned on postboxes up and down the country.
She is really omnipresent in terms of representing the country because, among other things, the royal family is a branding opportunity.
With the dawn of a new era slowly being ushered in with King Charles III ascending the throne, what happens now?
One of the things that really comes into question is what happens to the constitutions of places where she is the queen, and that's what is in their constitutions.
This has been the national anthem for 70 years. God Save the Queen, now changed to God Save the King, heard at Friday's memorial service at St. Paul's. And a spontaneous rendition outside Buckingham Palace as the newly minted King Charles greeted mourners. Charles III is set to use his reign to overhaul the future of the royal family with talks of a slimmed-down monarchy. But what will a King Charles III era look like as he becomes the head of 14 other Commonwealth countries? Definitely different from his mum. He cares deeply for the environment, even installing solar at his homes. And while the Queen steered away from politics, will Charles be able to do the same?
As king, you are more constrained in what you can do, the top job. You are a constitutional monarch, you're the head of state, so you have to be guided in many ways by your government.
As a prince, Charles was outspoken about a number of issues close to his heart, namely the environment. As king, during his first address to the nation, he said that he will no longer be able to champion those causes and issues. Lama Hassan, ABC News, outside Buckingham Palace.
And taking a live look out at Buckingham Palace, as you can see, a lot of people.
Mourners still gathering.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. 80% of the people in the UK have only known Queen Elizabeth, no one before her time, the people that are alive today.
Right, and as we saw a video from yesterday, new king was out there meeting with some people who were paying their respects to the Queen. A lot of pictures greeting the new monarch following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth, from Thursday. And it'll be a long process. I think next weekend we can expect the funeral procession to happen.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on all of those happenings across the pond, on air and online.
Time now, 9:38, 80 degrees out.
Well, some medical conditions are more likely to impact women than men. After the break, we'll tell you which ones you should be concerned about.
And let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. You can almost see the humidity.
Yeah, my hair, I'm inside, my hair is still suffering from it.
No, it looks fantastic.
Oh, stop it.
We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey for your full forecast in just a few moments.
Well, in almost every area in the world, women live longer than men. While this one fact alone might suggest that women are healthier, there are some medical conditions that are more likely to impact females.
So in fact, researchers analyzed data from more than 1.3 million people and found women were 22% more likely to develop long-lasting symptoms from COVID.
But when it comes to our gender does play an important role.
If you're a woman, you're more likely to outlive the men in your life. But this certain gender gap in life expectancy doesn't mean women aren't at risk for certain health conditions. In fact, gender is the #1 factor in which cancer you are more susceptible to get.
Thyroid cancer happens more often in women.
Thyroid and breast cancer are two of the few cancers women are diagnosed more often than men.
Lung cancer is more common in men because men smoke more often than women by statistics. But then if you look at never smokers, the women are more prevalent.
Women are also twice as likely to be diagnosed with anxiety and depression. There are more than 80 autoimmune disorders, and more than 75% of patients who have them are women. Irritable bowel syndrome is also more common in females, and so are brain aneurysms.
If you have mom and a sister with an aneurysm, so 2 first-degree relatives with an aneurysm, you just double your odds of having an aneurysm.
Keeping up with annual doctor visits and adopting a healthy lifestyle can help women avoid these conditions.
Okay, so stroke is another condition impacting women more than men.
That's right. While certain risk factors apply to everyone, women have unique risk factors, including pregnancy and taking birth control. All right, time now, 9:43. Sarah Spivey, it is already 80 degrees out there. How hot is it going to get today?
Well, we'll be hotter than average. We'll be in the low to mid 90s. That's a little bit warmer than the seasonal average of 91. But a lot like yesterday, we could see some isolated showers and storms between about 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. I'm showing you this really cool picture sent into our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. This is from an airplane as it was landing at San Antonio International Airport. Again, look at that isolated downpour there. Again, this is the kind of rain that we could see today. There will be those that get rain and there will be those that unfortunately miss out. And the time frame, though, is about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Coverage is about 20%. Outside right now, it's 78 degrees. You can see those cumulus clouds and it's very humid, too. Dew points are in the low 70s. You can actually see the haze on the horizon there from the high humidity. As we take a look at the satellite, too, notice that some areas are enjoying some sunshine. Floresville, Seguin, it's sunny out there right now, but it's mostly cloudy and 78 at the airport, 78 in Bulverde, 78 in Canyon Lake, 81 in Castroville, 80 in Hondo, 75 in Comfort, and 77 in Kerrville. Let's talk about our atmospheric setup for the day today and for the weekend. Out across the Pacific Ocean, there's post-tropical storm K actually sending rounds of heavy rain for Southern California, Las Vegas, Western Arizona. Those areas are under a flood watch today. Just a little to the north of that, though, is a cool front. This is our front that's going to be moving through tomorrow. Now, before you get excited for that fall-like feeling, this front is really just going to take down the humidity a couple of notches for us. Temperatures should actually still be on the warm side. And today, the reason why we have a chance for some isolated rain like the last few days is there is a closed low pressure system in the upper levels of the atmosphere right over Louisiana, sending energy on the west side of this towards San Antonio, and that's why, again, this afternoon we have about a 20% chance for isolated downpours. Here's a look at that through the futurecast. Again, most of the morning is going to be quiet. We should be able to see these morning clouds clear out quite a bit, and in the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see some of those isolated showers and storms pepper the radar, particularly after 3 p.m. Chance for rain is about 20%. You can notice how these tend to develop pretty randomly. So location forecasting is going to be difficult, but we can get that time frame right to about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Through the San Antonio metro area. So keep that in mind if you have outdoor plans, if you're planning on enjoying some time by the pool, perhaps some backyard barbecues this afternoon. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1 or 2 isolated downpours. Looking at neighborhood highs, it'll be 93 in Canyon Lake, 94 in Hondo, 93 in Uvalde, 95 in Del Rio, 95 in Gonzales, 92 in Kerrville, closer to the San Antonio area, 94 in Seguin and in Floresville, 93 in Poteet, 90 in Helotes, 90 in Bernie. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast shows a steady warm-up with skies clearing by about lunch. And then in the afternoon, that's when we'll be at 94 degrees. It's after 3 p.m. that we see a 20% chance for an isolated downpour. And after the sun sets, we'll see our rain chances pretty much diminish completely. Today is also an Ozone Action Day for the San Antonio metro area. What does that mean? Well, in the afternoon, ozone levels could be unhealthy for those who have respiratory issues and who are particularly sensitive to ozone. If you don't check the air quality every day, you should be fine this afternoon, to be honest with you. All right, dew points are going to fall with that front arriving tomorrow. And in fact, it'll feel really nice in the afternoon, even though it'll still be hot near 93. The dew points will be pretty low and it'll be breezy behind that front. In the week ahead, pretty dry and warm.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, time now, 9:47, 80 degrees out.
All right, David Elder cooking things up on Texas Eats just ahead.
Ooh.
What did he make?
I don't think he made that.
Oh, he didn't make that?
I don't think he's cooking that.
Okay, well, because he is cooking some of his stuff.
He is cooking a lot. We have the outdoor Texas Eats Fest coming up.
Is that corn?
I don't know. It looked like sushi to me. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's corn!
Oh, my goodness. Did you just do this just so you could say that?
No, but
Okay,
as soon as I said it, it happened.
Let's take a live look at the roadways. Not so many people out and about, but if anything does pop up, we'll keep you posted.
Take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 4, 3, 4, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 6, 9, 8, 4, Fireball 6.
Your cash 5, 11, 28, 29, 33, 35. And here we go. Big congratulations to Sarah Acosta. She won the Mega Millions and she still came to work. Sarah, how much did you win?
$2. And I won $8 before that.
Now you're just
I bought
bragging.
this ticket with the 2,
Here are the numbers:
winning.
16, 21, 54, 55, 69. Big number 22, Megapire 2. Good luck. We'll be right back.
A Virginia veteran is finally getting the honor he deserves after a hospital stay kept him from being recognized for his service during World War II.
So John Jennings was wounded at the Battle of the Bulge in 1944. Because of his time in the hospital, he was never celebrated for his service. But now he is. People from all over the country sending him letters thanking him for what he's done. He says the love and admiration, it is incredible.
I really appreciate them. That are still people that likes what people have done for them beforehand.
Thank you so much for your service, Mr. Jennings. A news story about Jennings' sacrifice aired on Memorial Day. From there, the word spread to thank him. Jennings says he has no regrets about what he's done, saying he would do it all over again.
Amazing story, and I'm glad he's getting the attention he deserves. Time now, 9:52, 80 degrees out.
Here's what's coming up next on Texas Eats.
You got a pork dish here that's super popular.
Yeah,
right?
so this is the kare. So this is like in the Philippines, it'll probably be made, or in a household, be made with oxtail. We actually took that a step up. We actually initially used brisket because it had kind of the same characteristics as oxtail. The way you would eat this dish, you get a little bit of the sauce, a little bit of meat, the vegetables, and then this here's a homemade shrimp paste. It's called bagaong alamang, and you put that on top of that. It kind of acts like a flavored salt and really enhances that flavor.
How do you go in? Yeah.
I'd probably get a spoon and fork, and like, Filipinos kind of, we don't really do like knives and stuff.
You show me, man.
We spoon and fork.
Here, you do it first, and you show me what's going on.
Let's just probably just break off a little of this here real quick. Yeah.
There you go. This looks so good. Here we go. I love that.
Good morning. We're here at the Salvation Army for the 41st Annual Shoo-In, and with me is Brad Marhay. He's going to tell us more about what's happening. Thousands of kids getting...
Yeah, thanks to the Nazum Charitable Foundation, we're able to provide new pairs of shoes to more than 2,000 elementary school kids who didn't have that privilege of new shoes when school started.
That's awesome. So many smiling faces here today. Back to you, Max and Sarah. Reporting live from the Salvation Army, I'm Camilo Juarez.
Hey, Camila. All right, a lot of talk recently about the economy, interest rates, and jobs, but what impact are we seeing here in our community? Well, Workforce Solutions Alamo CEO Adrian Lopez set to join us live on Leading SA tomorrow at 8 a.m. September is Workforce Development Month, and Mr. Lopez is going to help explain our local economic environment and upcoming important job fairs and programs. If you have any questions you would like to ask, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com.
Well, KSAT community is getting ready for what has become a yearly tradition here. Registration is open for the 9th annual Head for the Cure. The 5K run and walk raises awareness and funds to fight brain cancer.
KSAT's former news director, Jim Boyle, was diagnosed with brain cancer. He passed away, but his legacy lives on. His daughter helped kick off this event outside the KSAT studios back in 2014. Since then, it has grown with more and more families running and taking part for the survivors and in remembrance of their loved ones.
So this year, it all kicks off on September 24th. You can register right now on KSAT.com. Use the promo code KSAT to get $5 off of your registration fee.
In the pollen count today, molds lead the pack. They are high, past 4,000. Grass, pigweed, and ragweed are present, but in low amounts. So if you're having some allergy issues, it's more than likely because of the mold. Now, later on this afternoon, it is an Ozone Action Day. If you are particularly sensitive to ozone in the air, if you have respiratory issues, you may want to limit your time outdoors this afternoon. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty nice day. 86 at noon. We're already starting to see skies clear. In the afternoon, 94 for the high temperature. Between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., there is a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm. A lot like the last couple of afternoons where only a few folks have gotten some rain. Light and variable winds. Sun's going to set at 7:45, and it's going to be a warm evening. If you have Saturday night date plans, temperatures will be in the 80s. Looking at tomorrow, a cool front is going to move through. It'll make things less humid, not necessarily cooler, except for the mornings. The mornings will be nice. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, we'll be looking at lows right near 70 degrees, and then it is going to be hot in the week ahead. Temperatures will be in the mid-90s.
All right, thank you, Sarah. All right, coming up, we have Texas Eats. We got a preview of a gold burger, tostada, and a pork dish. Max, which one would you take?
Tostada. Got barbacoa on a corn tortilla. Good to go. Sarah?
I'll melt the gold into rain.
Hey, it's David Elder, and today on Texas Eats, we're traveling around the Lone Star State looking for great restaurants you won't want to miss. Get ready for Alamo City award-winning breakfast tacos served up on fresh, home-style flour tortillas. They're known for out here. It's even trademarked, the trash can taco. What goes inside that one? Starts with a homemade flour tortilla, potatoes, eggs, beans, bacon, and carne guisada. And we're heating things up in the Texas Eats outdoor kitchen with the Shiner beer can chicken recipe. It is so delicious, very easy recipe to do. You're gonna be a rock star when you make this at home. Plus, we head to a San Antonio bakery serving up fresh bagels, loaded sandwiches, and delicious desserts.
It is the food that is passed down from the grandmothers from generation to generation.
All that and more right now on Texas Eats. Our first stop on this foodie adventure is at a new restaurant on the Riverwalk that's serving up some over-the-top burgers and sweets. Let's go inside the Sugar Factory. Joining us now is Gil Rodriguez. He is the general manager out here at the restaurant. Thank you so much for having us, man.
Hey, no problem, man. Glad to have you.
Now, right in front of us, this is what makes the Sugar Factory the Sugar Factory.
This is what makes it happen right here.
And how did this all get started? The Sugar Factory, what was the concept that started all this?
Great question. And this little bad boy over here is what started it all, our couture pop.
This is like an actual lollipop that you said you could replace it, right?
You can replace the head of this lollipop.
So it's more about buying like a lollipop holder?
Yep.
That's crazy. Now you have so many different things, but this one in the front, the gold burger.
That's it right there.
Over the top. Now on the menu, $150.
Yes, sir.
And this, you get a burger wrapped in gold.
Everything gold on that bad boy. 24 karat, that's how we're rolling.
What comes inside of it? How does it get built?
It's a cheeseburger, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and we just drape that bad boy all in gold.
That's a good looking burger.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There we go, cheers to you.
There you go, boomerang.
The gold burger out here, that's the bite.
That's the way to do it.
I got something on my face?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
good.
covered in gold, baby.
Smells good.
I've had a gold covered steak before, but never a gold burger. That is awesome. I love that when you take the bite out of it, it just covers your face in gold, which, you know, why not? That's what you're doing it for. You have all the different sweets on the side, you have that milkshake, and then you have the gold fries on there as well. I mean, feel like a king. Eat some gold, have some fun, and who knows, you could split it with somebody, grab another cocktail, and have a blast out here, because that's what it's all about. There are a bunch of different burgers on the menu. This one right here is the mac and cheese burger, bacon, tomatoes, lettuce. You got the burger patty, buns toasted on there as well, fries on the side, ketchup. Another one of their big sellers they have on the menu out here. There we go. The macaroni and cheeseburger, that's the bite. That's messy and delicious. This is exactly what you want it to be. This right here is their chicken and waffles. You can see the waffles all made from scratch. The chicken deep fried to perfection. I'm gonna add a little bit more syrup on top of these bad boys. And look at this. It's one of the most popular dishes on the menu. I'm gonna grab this guy, go for a bite. Oh, wow. Look at that butter right there. That's insane. Flavored down to the bone on the chicken. Nice little crunch on the outside as well. Grab a waffle. I get it. This is really, really good. I mean, it's chicken and waffles. You can't go wrong. And these cocktails are just over the top. They're still bubbling.
Over the top.
And when they're made, it's like dry ice is just pouring out of them.
Dry ice gives it its little flavor in there. Absolutely. It makes it pop, a lot of color, a lot of booze. We also do these in non-alcoholic versions as well.
Cheers to you.
Salute.
There we go. Oh, wow. That's actually, it's very sweet, but it's well balanced.
Yep. Candy shop.
That's the candy shop.
There's the candy shop, and that is the Soul Man right there.
Oh my gosh. These are delicious. Now, this one here is the one to get.
That's
this is
the one
a
to get.
full Kong, like ice cream sundae.
That's a full Kong. Now, on top of that, you will also get an approved TikTok dance that my crew will come up and bring out for you, and we just get it for the guest that comes in for that day.
And y'all have a blast doing that. Everybody looks like they're having a really good time.
Absolutely. The energy is great. We bring a lot of energy to every shift. We wanted to provide an experience for our guests, and that's why they come. And when they got a smile on their face, we get a smile on our face.
That's so cool. You guys have to come out here. The Sugar Factory is now open on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, multiple locations all across the United States and in Houston, Dallas. So make sure you check them out. Look where they're going to be at, and make sure you go there and get some of these items. There we go. Look at this. I feel like...
Are you kidding me here? No, this is it right here, cowboy.
All right. Cheers to you, Gil.
Salute.
The Sugar Factory, y'all. This is where it's at. This is awesome. Now, we're headed to Houston to check out a restaurant that's fusing Asian and Texas barbecue cuisine. The beef-loving Texans have sent me on a mission to travel all across the Lone Star State, going to some of the hottest restaurants that they featured on the new season of their hit show BarbeQuest, now streaming on Hulu. And that's why we're here in Houston to go inside of Loro, which is an amazing barbecue restaurant fusing Asian and traditional Texas barbecue culture together into some outstanding dishes. Let's go see what's on the menu.
In the window.
Joining me now is the regional chef for Loro, Mike Bettis. Thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, man.
And right in front of us, we have hits off of the menu, including some delicious beef dishes, because you know we had to. And you got some pork options as well. You also have turkey and some side items. But talk to me about Loro. How did this all get started?
You know, Tyson Cole and Aaron Franklin are partners in this concept and both fans of each other's food. And several beers later, they decided to throw this concept together, you know, and I think it's really cool taking Aaron's, you know, Central Texas, Czech style barbecue and introducing, you know, Tyson's influence with Southeast Asian ingredients.
This little steak dish right here looks like it packs a punch, though, man, of flavor.
So good, yeah.
Talk to me about this. What's going on?
All right, so this is our prime smoked bavette. So we cold smoke it in our smoker at 115 degrees for about 45 minutes. Then we sous vide it with a little bit of the rendered brisket tallow. Oh. So we try to utilize all of our ingredients, cross-utilize them as much as possible.
Beef tallow is the rendered fat that comes off of the brisket, and they're collecting it on a pan right there in the smoker, and they're adding it to dishes. They're also wiping it right on top of that brisket, so when it's wrapped, it's just locked in with flavor.
For us, the creative process was, you know, how do we utilize these things and introduce them and educate our team and our guests?
I love that. And this is such a creative, fun way to present it as well, with the shishito peppers on the side, shishito salsa on there. All right, so I'm gonna put it down, grab some chopsticks or a fork, whatever you're vibing with today. What do you prefer?
I like chopsticks.
You're a chopsticks guy, okay.
we love choose your own adventure here. You know, that's why we have the forks.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
That's the bite.
Cheers.
Whoa. Give me some love, bro. Woo. This steak is cooked so nicely, and you can see it on the fire right there. I mean, the flames are shooting up. You would think it'd have a lot more char, a lot more smoke on there, but it's super delicate. And then you have that shishito salsa that's on there as well. The shishito peppers on there, some of that red onion, the cilantro. It is that bright little pop that you need that cuts through all that protein. It is so good and a great way of delicately handling that protein to the point where it's just like elevated now. It's something different, and it's this fusion of cultures coming together in one plate. Talk to me about this guy right here. Because this one we saw getting flame grilled back there, man. This
yeah, so this is awesome. So again, utilizing our trim. This is part chuck, part brisket. Then we take some of our brisket flats and chopped beef, and we turn it into a brisket jam. We have a jalapeno aioli, some spicy pickles on there, and some butter lettuce.
Oh wow, okay, spicy pickle,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And I love butter lettuce too, because that's just kind of a nice little pop, a little fresh bite on there as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cheers to you.
Cheers, man.
All right, the sandwich, the burger, that's the bite. Oh my God. This burger is so good. And once again, it's another protein that you see the fire coming up on it. So you're expecting more of like a fire kind of vibe to it. But when you take the bite, it's subtly there, but it's just so perfect. It has all that tender beef on there. It's a little blend on there as well, so you're getting some different fatty pockets. And then you get all that flavor that's added on there with that spicy pickle, some of that lettuce on there as well. That butter lettuce is just next level tasty. It is a phenomenal bite. If you're looking for a burger, you gotta come check them out at Laura. You can't come out to a barbecue joint and not get the brisket.
Can't get brisket.
King of barbecue here in Texas. Talk to me about BarbaQuest. I mean, brought together by the beef-loving Texans, and you guys got featured on there, and it's on the new season. The QR code's on the screen, so you can watch it right now. Stream it on Hulu. But I mean, brisket is a huge part of their initiative, that beef-loving Texas initiative. So talk to me about what it was like being on the show and what it means to have this brisket on the menu.
You know, it's a lot of fun. We use Creekstone. It's a big product. Aaron loves Creekstone. We love Creekstone. And again, you know, really coaching and educating people on what else to do with, instead of just having like that center cut, like beautifully smoked brisket, like what do we do with all the other things, you know? And so for us, that's where we have a lot of fun with it and get to be creative and, you know, respect the muscle and the animal.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, the tallow, which I've seen that you guys using there in the kitchen, it is very handy back there for you.
Super flavorful, yeah.
And it's got a lot of flavor in there. And I love the way that you've dressed this one up. I've never seen brisket treated this way, and that you're adding to it, which is really, brisket's always unctuous, it's fatty.
Yeah.
And you've already, just by looking at it, you can see some of those vinegar pops that are gonna help kind of balance out that fat. I'm excited to take a bite, y'all. All right, I got a little bit of everything now. This looks like, is that a mint leaf?
That is mint, yeah.
Come on.
Thai basil, mint, cilantro.
Oh my gosh. And then you got that chili oil on the bottom. Here we go. Cheers to you.
Cheers, brother.
All right, that's the brisket. Here's the bite. Whoa.
Wow, a lot of stuff going on.
There's a reason why beef-loving Texans selected Laura to be featured on the new season of BarbaQuest on Hulu. It's because they're doing incredible things with the beef proteins that they have on the menu. Their brisket, dressing it up with that chili oil, it's so different and it's so welcome. In the world where everybody's trying to kind of do the same thing, it's this new concept. And then you have the steak, the burgers. I mean, it's the fusion, the perfect fusion of two cultures coming together and making these delicious dishes. I love what's going on out here. Houston, Austin, Dallas, you're lucky. You got the restaurant here, plus you can watch them on TV as well. So everybody wins. Y'all, brisket, burnt, and popcorn. Come on. This is wild. Y'all are doing crazy stuff out here. I love it. Now, Laura, you're all over the place, not just Houston, right?
Yeah, so our flagship is in Austin. We just opened Dallas last year, and then Houston this last February.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, Mike, thank you so much, man. Make sure you check him out on Hulu. The QR code's on the screen. Beef-loving Texans have created a wonderful show, BarbaQuest. They're in their new season. They have all new restaurants that you have to check out. And you know what? It's food like this that you're going to learn about even more in depth. And I'm so glad I got to come out here and try it myself and tell you about it. Come give it a try. It's so different. It's creative. It's fun. If you love barbecue, if you love beef, this is a spot to come to. Don't forget to get the popcorn. This is just silly. I got to go for a, do you eat this with a fork? I'm going to use my hands. Okay.
Go hands. Do hands.
I'm going to go hands on it. Here, you get some too. I mean, it's popcorn and brisket burnt ends. Here you go. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Laurel, this is where it's at, y'all. Coming up later on Texas Eats. Get ready for Alamo City award-winning breakfast tacos served up on fresh home-style flour tortillas. You're known for out here. It's even trademarked, the trash can taco. What goes inside that one?
Starts with a homemade flour tortilla, potatoes, eggs, beans, bacon, and carne guisada.
And next on the show, we head to a San Antonio bakery serving up fresh bagels, loaded sandwiches, and delicious desserts.
It is the food that is passed down from the grandmothers from generation to generation.
So don't go anywhere. Texas Eats will be right back.